Hey everyone, it's Ryan from No Credentials Required to talk to you about one of our newest partners at Belly Up Sports, SeatGeek. Yeah, live sports is great on television, but the feeling of being at the arena is a priceless experience. That's why our friends at SeatGeek are there to help you find the best tickets at the best prices. Not only can you get tickets to sporting events, we can also get tickets to concerts, comedy shows, musicals, and more. Search for your desired event now at SeatGeek.com, enter promo code BellyUpSports at checkout, and you save $20 off your first purchase. SeatGeek. Life's an event. We have the tickets.
In La Liga, the teams that are getting relegated is 20th place Real Valladolid, 19th place Las Palmas, and 18th place Leganes. I was hoping Leganes could avoid relegation, but they did not. Fun fact, 17th place was Sevilla. But yeah, I was really hoping that Leganes could make a run. Unfortunately, it just did not happen. It was not in the cards for them. In 8th place in the Europa Conference League spot, we got Rayo Vallecano, which I think that's a great competition for them. I think that if they can make a strong push over there, I think that could be good for them. In the Europa League, we got 7th place Celta Vigo and 6th place Real Betis representing La Liga. Real Betis, by the time this episode drops, we'll know if they won the Europa Conference League because they're playing against Chelsea for the Europa Conference League final, but it's already going to be played by the time this episode drops. So regardless, they're going to be in the Europa League. Whether they win the Europa Conference League or not, they're going to the Europa League. So, and I think Celta Vigo, this is really cool, good for them. I think this is a good opportunity for them. So we'll see how they do in that one. Now, in Champions League, there's 5 Champions League spots for La Liga this year. Don't necessarily remember why, but they are also going to have 5 Champions League spots for next year. In 5th place, we got Villarreal. Really happy for Villarreal. I think this is really good for them, good for their club. Once again, for these clubs that are kind of like, I don't want to say mid-table teams, but teams that don't necessarily get as much shine, but do fairly well in certain competitions. Villarreal is one of those teams. And also, once again, you got that Champions League shine, man. Now you get a chance to use the Champions League as a selling point when you're going after players for player acquisitions. So I think that's going to be really good for them. In 4th place, we got Atletico Bilbao going to Champions League. I think this is going to be really exciting for them. Obviously, there's going to be a lot of things to follow with them. Nico Williams very much out the door. How do they replace him? And obviously, Atletico Bilbao is very unique because they only get players from Basque. So a more specific region in Spain. So we'll see how they handle it. Who rises for Atletico Bilbao, which is going to be really interesting. So we'll see what happens there with Atletico Bilbao. 3rd place, Atletico Madrid. It's going to be really interesting this offseason. Diego Simeone very much likes Johnny Cardoso from Real Betis. He looks like they're going to go all in for him. As well, Christian Romero from Tottenham is also rumored to be going to Atletico Madrid. The man just knows how to find dogs, and I think next season we'll see how, with this core of players that have already looked really strong for him, how does he amplify that, and how does he get more out of them, and maybe they can get into the conversation of winning some trophies next year. In 2nd place, we got Real Madrid. It's funny because this is basically everyone's going to say this is a down year for Real Madrid, and you're also probably not wrong. As far as the standard goes for Real Madrid, right? Not a single trophy won this year. Not one. Well, I guess no, not a single trophy won this year. You got swept by Barcelona. Not only in regular season play, whether you can Copa, Spanish Super Cup, La Liga, Copa del Rey, but you also got beat by them in the preseason. So just to add more salt onto the wound, you could not overcome Barcelona at all this year. Not even in a fucking friendly. So, but I don't think it's Mbappe's fault. A lot of people are going to blame Mbappe, but Mbappe did what he was supposed to do. I was kind of nerve-wracked a little bit by Mbappe initially, but it wasn't Mbappe's fault. I don't necessarily think that there's really anybody at fault. I know some people are going to try to pin it on Vinicius Jr. Oh, he's a it's funny how Vinny becomes a distraction when the team's not performing. But when they're winning and he does the same exact shit that everyone complains about, it's fine. you tolerate that. But when they're losing, that's when you're like, oh, he's a distraction. He needs to leave. I don't know how many people have told me that Vinny needs to go. It's fucking unreal. I'm Unfortunately, I think Rodrigo is going to be out. I believe that they're still going to keep him for the Club World Cup. I think that that's going to be his. Right now, everybody's trying out for their job. Everybody is playing for their job right now. In this FIFA Club World Cup, who's probably going to be in that FIFA Club World Cup, they're going to be playing for their job. There's guys that are safe. Like Vinny, like Mbappe, like Bellingham, like like Thibaut Courtois. But there is also a whole mess of people that are not safe. They are not safe at all. They need to figure it out, and we'll see what happens in these next coming days. So we're gonna see. I'm intrigued. I'm intrigued to see how this all is going to transpire for Real Madrid. Now Xavi Alonso is now the new man in charge of Real Madrid. It's not even Ancelotti's fault. A lot of people are blaming Ancelotti as well. It's not his fault. Real Madrid has never defended. Has never defended. I hate saying that. Have never repeated. They have never won a consecutive league title. They've gone consecutive when it comes to Champions Leagues, but for league titles, they have never been able to repeat, to win consecutive league titles, and it's crazy. That's a crazy thought. I think under Ancelotti, I think specifically under Ancelotti that they've never been able to do that. But recently, as far as I can recall, I don't think they've ever actually consecutively won La Liga. But yeah, Real Madrid, also interesting team to follow the next coming days. I mean, they went and got Højlund from Bournemouth, so he's coming to Real Madrid. They're going after Carreras from Benfica. I'm sure there's going to be more players they're going to look after. I think there's a lot of players that might be leaving. Obviously Luka Modric will not be returning to Real Madrid. Lucas Vázquez will not be returning to Real Madrid. Jesus Vallejo will not be returning to Real Madrid. There's a lot of guys that are very much out the door, and it's going to be interesting what Real Madrid does to replenish the squad, because it's not going to be a rebuild. It's not a rebuild. It is very much building another strong club and seeing if Xabi Alonso is the guy that can lead this team to be better than what they were before. So we'll see. But champions of La Liga, first place, Barcelona, with 28 wins, 4 draws, and 6 losses with 88 points. Once again, they swept Real Madrid this season. I don't think that this was a season that everyone had super high expectations of Barcelona. I think everyone wasn't sure about Hansi Flick. Everyone wasn't sure about the financial situation for Barcelona. And Barcelona figured out their finances. They're back for one status when it comes to their so whatever they get given, whatever money they get, they can spend it right back. So this was, an interesting year for Barcelona. They hit it in every aspect. I think that they exceeded expectations. I think everyone is praising now Hansi Flick. He has now looked like the savior of Barcelona. Making a whole new evolution to this tiki taka, using the academy, because it wasn't about acquiring all these players. It was about utilizing the academy, working on their fitness. This team to be as active as they could be with the high press and still be able to get results, and to stay active with that high press throughout the game. It just once again shows Hansi Flick's importance to physical fitness. The ongoing joke that we made here on the podcast, which was, did you run a mile? If not, whether or not you ran a mile, go run 5 more. That was yes, it was a joke, but it very much was the mentality of Barcelona, how to make sure that this team was as fit as possible to go the distance that they win. And they got a domestic double. Some people are going to say domestic treble, but I don't count Spanish Super Cup. But they still, they won the Spanish Super Cup, which I think was a pivotal moment for Barcelona, because that, once again, handle business against Real Madrid. Copa del Rey, handle business against Real Madrid. And then win La Liga, in which in some aspect, sweeping Real Madrid was what sealed it for them. The only thing that didn't pan out for them was they didn't win the Champions League. I think the reality is, as much as they're doing so well with this high press, it can also expose them. And I think that that's going to be the next question. What the next adaptation of this Barca team is going to be? Can they what can they fix to kind of no longer be the high press team? Because it's look, the high press. It's especially if you have an athletic group of players, it works to your advantage, but it can be exposed. It can be exposed. And I mean, there was glimpses this year that you could see how the high press can be exposed. Inter Milan showed you how to expose the high press. Real Madrid even showed you how to expose the high press. It's all about timing and positioning. If you have a guy like Kylian Mbappe and you can time your runs perfectly, they're going to get exposed. I mean, Vinny, another example. So, and which is what happened with the Dumfries Acerbi goal. They timed the ball well. They got the goal in a breakaway, and that's what happened. It's going to be interesting what Barcelona does. I think Barcelona has been a very fun team this year, and this is coming off of a Madrista's mouth. They have been so much fun to watch. They've just been enjoyable. Lamine Yamal is phenomenal. Rafinha. Hansi Flick resurrected Rafinha. This guy went from being this guy's a bum, he's not good, to now you could possibly make a strong argument for the Ballon d'Or for him. Lamine Yamal has a strong argument for the Ballon d'Or. So that is just, and also on top of all these things, while Robert Lewandowski did play, it wasn't all because of Robert Lewandowski. It wasn't. But yeah, I think that this is a very good Barcelona team. I think Barca is 100% back, and they're just going to get better. They're just going to get better. So it is going to be on Real Madrid. It's going to be on Atletico Madrid to improve their squads, because this isn't a one-time thing for Barcelona. Barcelona is going to be in the conversation for a lot more competitions. They're no longer the team in the bad financial status. They are back. They're using the academy. Hansi Flick has the right coaching strategy. They're poised to be. They're gonna win a Champions League at some point. They're gonna. I'm just telling you guys how I see it. But congratulations to them for winning La Liga. Well, winning La Liga, winning Copa del Rey, and even winning Spanish Super Cup. Golden Boot winner Kylian Mbappe from Real Madrid with 31 goals. I believe he's also going to be the leading goal scorer amongst all competitions as well. I think so he won. He got that as well. I think in order for that to have happened, I think Lewandowski needed to score like 7 fucking goals or something. Well, Salah needed to score like a hat trick. But yeah, but Kylian Mbappe, he's the Golden Boot winner for La Liga, and I think also winning I think it was called the Pichichi. But anyways, Golden Glove is Jan Oblak, who had 15 clean sheets this season. I keep telling y'all, man, Jan Oblak is one of the best goalkeepers in the world. I keep saying it, and everyone thinks I'm crazy, but yeah, La Liga was really fun. I think I kind of said it, man. I think this year's gonna be weird, and it was weird, but in a good way. It was a fun year. Once as putting my Madrista to the side, it was 100% a fun league this year. Obviously, putting my Madrista back here, it fucking sucked. It's one thing the thing that sucked was just the fact that Real Madrid couldn't get a single trophy this year. And that is what caused Ancelotti to get fired. Which, once again, I read it. I read it in this, I read it. The writing was on the wall. The writing was on the wall. Because this was exactly what happened when they won La Decima. Team played flat. And I'm not going to use the injuries as an excuse. The team was just flat. Team was just flat. Yeah, injuries happen, but that injuries happen to everybody. And of course, that's what happened when they won La Decima, which then Ancelotti got fired, which led to Rafa Benitez. Luckily, that's not happening. It's now Xabi Alonso. But now I hope Xabi Alonso pans out, because I don't want another Rafa Benitez incident. And because Real Madrid is not shy from firing somebody. If they don't think it's working, they're gonna end it right now. So we'll see what happens there.
Who is that guy?